So let's make a start to our yin and nidra practice. We'll start off with a few yin postures before we move into our yoga nidra practice. So I've just spotted a Christmas sticker from my niece on my jumper. So grab yourself something to sit on so that you can lift the seat above the hips. And just take a few moments if you want the legs out long, or maybe you even want to sit on the knees. We're just using this as an arrival. Taking the time to find some stillness, to acknowledge the arrival to our practice. So just take any movements, any fidgets that you need to sort of iron out before you come to that moment of stillness. And drink in a really big, deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out of the mouth. 2 more. Really big, deep, full in breath and big sigh out. Make it as noisy as you want. And feel, now that you've taken those big sighs, that the jaw and the shoulders feel a little lighter. When we sigh out, people often say to us, "What's the matter? What's wrong with you?" There's nothing wrong with sighing. You're just releasing that stress. If you think about an animal, once they're stressed, they shake. It's our version of that, isn't it? Letting go of the stress, letting go of the tension. So sigh away whenever you need to. Start to draw awareness to your physical body now. Finding length through the spine as you draw the crown of the head up towards the sky. The forehead is completely soft. The eyes are gently closed. The jaw is soft. The lips are gently parted. The shoulders are drawn away from the ears and down the back. The chest is rising and falling subtly with the natural flow of your breath. The ribs are expanding to allow for that natural breath. The belly is soft, not gripping onto the core. The area around the pelvis is soft. The muscles throughout the legs are unclenched. And the toes, they're not gripping. Notice the entire softness of the body as you sit here in stillness. And just observing the breath. Throughout December, we've been working with Svadhyaya, self-study, self-education. And I think that given the year that we've had, it's a really beautiful concept for us to think about, particularly in a yin practice. It enables us to become aware, to acknowledge, to show gratitude for everything that we've overcome and learned this year. Personally, I don't think I know anybody who hasn't learned something about themselves this year. So I invite you for this practice to set yourself the intention of gratitude towards whatever it is that you have learned, whether that's this week, this month, or this year. Acknowledge the strength of whatever it is that you've overcome. And thank yourself. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out of the mouth. Feel free to keep the eyes closed if you're comfortable. Moving any props from under your seat and move into a child's pose. Wide-legged is preferable if that's comfortable for you. So take the big toes to touch, knees come out wide, aiming for 11 and 1 or 10 and 2 on the clock face with the knees. If you've got a cushion, feel free to use that underneath the belly and the chest if the ground is too far from you, if you want a slightly more subtle practice this evening. Otherwise, allow the forehead to come all the way to the ground. Allow the seat to sink back in towards the hips. Allow the fingertips to reach forward. Not holding or gripping. The magic of yin happens when we soften into the posture. In yin, we think about prioritizing the time that we hold in the posture rather than the intensity of the posture. During the practice this evening, at least the yin portion of the practice, I'll be offering up more silent sections almost compared to normal. And during these pauses, I invite you to focus on the breath primarily, on the sensations within the body, and to simply acknowledge whatever it is that comes up mentally or emotionally. Simply acknowledge. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out of the mouth. Begin to move your way gently out of your child's pose. The next posture will be almost on your tummy, so if that's where you want to go to find stillness or movement. Otherwise, it might be nice to sort of release the ankles. Maybe even swaying forwards and backwards. These in-between moments, they're up to you. What you want to do, what your body's asking for. So since we're focusing on Svadhyaya, self-study, it can be really useful for you to tune into what the body is asking for, to listen to yourself. In your own time, make your way into Sphinx pose. So you'll be lay on the tummy with the elbows directly underneath the shoulders, the forearms and the palms flat to the ground. You're not gripping onto the fingers like you might do in a vinyasa practice for a down dog or something. The hands are completely soft. If you feel like this is a lot of pressure in the upper arms and the shoulders, you can take some cushions and place them underneath the chest to give you that bit of support. My arms are a little bit too short for this bolster in this position. So yin is all about letting gravity, the props, the support, do the work for us. There's no holding on in yin. We simply surrender to the posture, to the stillness. We have enough going on in our minds, in the outside world. Not only the mind, but the body also benefits from stillness. We often think that kicking back and watching TV is a form of relaxation. But the mind is actually still working hard when you're watching TV. You're still stimulated. Whereas yin is all about drawing inwards and closing off from the outside world just for now. We're about halfway here through the hold. So your option is to stay as you are, or you could come into seal, which is essentially a slightly deeper variation, taking the arms out straight and lifting the chest a little higher. Just totally your choice. Stay as you are, or straighten out through the arms. And just allow the back of the neck to be soft, in line with the spine. Take a deep breath in through the nose, sigh out of the mouth. If you've got any props underneath you, my suggestion is that you take the weight into the hands and knees and push backwards. Move in any way that you wish, acknowledging what the body is asking for. We'll move next into deer pose. I suppose it's quite a festive pose, isn't it? I've just realised I've probably not got the best clothes on today to demonstrate this, so bear with. But you're aiming for both knees to come into sort of a 90-degree, but it totally doesn't matter. So you've got knee, foot, essentially. Yeah. And if this right hip, if you've gone the same way as me, I've got my left knee bent in front of me, my right knee bent to the side and behind. Yeah. Yeah, so cross your left leg in front of you. Yeah. And take, as if we were coming into a pigeon pose, we'd be here, wouldn't we? Yeah. But actually staying upright and the knees bent. If, like me, you've got a little bit of a gap there between the floor and your butt cheek, you can plug it with a cushion or a blanket. Right? I'll just turn around this way. And it's totally your choice here if you want to stay upright or if you want to fold forward or if you want to rest. Yeah, just have a little play. The work here is around the hip area. So as long as you're comfortable, particularly in the knee and the hips, then just let the top body completely surrender. That's it. We'll hold this posture for just 3 minutes on each side. This can be quite an intense posture for some people. For me too. You've got one hip internally rotating, the other externally rotating. Both doing different things. If it is quite an intense posture for you, then be gentle with yourself. And redirect the mind to the breath, to the journey that the breath takes from the very tip of the inhale to the very last little bit of the exhale. Take a deep breath in through the nose, sigh out of the mouth. Gently ease your way out of your deer pose, removing any props. Swing your legs gently in front of you and just ease into the hip area, swaying the knees side to side. Might be nice to even straighten them out. And then when you're ready, set yourself up for your deer pose on the opposite side. So this time, the right knee is bent in front of you, the left knee bent to the left and behind you. Fill any gaps between your seat and the ground. You can stay upright or you can fold forwards towards that front shin. Maybe taking a moment here to just acknowledge that it's okay if this is more intense or less intense on the opposite side, and to just use the support that you have around you to make that okay. You don't want to come too far to your edge. Remember, it's time, not intensity, that we value in yin. Take a deep breath in through the nose, sigh out of the mouth. Ease your way out of the posture. Gently moving into the hip and knee area in any way that feels right for you. Our final yin posture is one you're much more familiar with, Matsyasana or fish pose. So take your bolster or your cushions or rolled up blanket, whatever it is you have, and take it lengthways down the mat. Come to sit at the very edge. The legs can be out long, feet to the mat, soles of the feet together. Totally doesn't matter. So you just check in with whichever feels the right one for you this evening. And then you're going to lean back and surrender. So your bolster or cushions are supporting the back of the head, the length of the spine, down towards the sacrum. The shoulders are rolling off the edges of your support. And the front of the chest is open towards the sky. The symbolism of opening the heart. So as you lie here, surrendering into your fish pose with your open heart, I invite you to check in with how you feel. And I invite you to bring about a sense of gratitude. A sense of gratitude for every single thing that you've done for yourself during this last year. No matter how big or small those things might be. Nobody else needs to know. These are your thoughts, your gratitude towards yourself. Take a deep breath in through the nose Sigh out of the mouth. Gently lift your way up out of your fish pose. Remove any props from underneath you. And return to lying on the back once more. We'll be moving now into our Yoga Nidra practice. So if you'd like to add any layers, grab a blanket or an eye pillow, feel free to do so. In your own time, bring your way into your Shavasana. Taking the legs, perhaps to the length of the mat. Let the shoulders, the shoulder heads gently draw underneath so that the arms are out wide. The back body entirely supported by the ground. Bring your attention to the world around you. Listen to the sounds outside the room. Listen to the sounds inside the room. Allow yourself a moment to become aware of all sensations around you. Sounds, smells, temperature. Visualize your own body resting on the floor and become aware of your own physical presence. The practice of Yoga Nidra is a practice of yogic sleep that will guide you into a hypnagogic state, a state of consciousness between wakefulness and sleeping. The intention is to try to remain awake by listening to the sound of my voice. Try not to concentrate too intensely, as this may prevent you from relaxing. During this meditation, please use and absorb what you need in the moment and leave the rest behind. If the mind becomes overactive with thoughts and worries, just come back to the sound of my voice. Let's take our awareness to the body and imagine how it would feel, how it would be if you could give the body permission to completely let go. If you could deeply allow the body to let go. We're about to go on a journey through different states of consciousness, and I will be by your side on this journey, always by your side. Draw your awareness to the chest, to the heart center. Feel as though you are breathing directly into the heart space. Breathe out and release any worries, any tension, anything at all that's bothering you. Let go with each out breath. Release with each out breath. Breathe into the heart space and notice, what does your heart truly desire? Right now, in this moment, what is your heart's deepest wish? Breathe out and let go of any thoughts that do not serve that desire. Repeat your sankalpa or your desire 3 times internally now. The invitation now is to guide your awareness around the body, to place the awareness deeply into the body parts that I name. You might find that your awareness produces objects as you place, perhaps a shape, stars, or even a colour. The most important part of the practice is drawing your awareness to the area of the body that I call. We'll start at the crown of the head, moving to the middle of the brain, the front of the brain, the forehead, the middle of the brain, and back to the front. Come back to the middle of the brain, the front of the brain, the forehead, tip of the nose, the chin, the right side of the face, right earlobe, tip of the right ear, the right temple, top middle of the forehead, the left temple, tip of the left ear, left earlobe, left side of the face, the chin, the right cheek, outer edge of the right eyebrow, inner edge of the eyebrow, eyebrow center, inner edge of the left eyebrow, outer edge of the left eyebrow, the left cheek, the chin, the point under the bottom lip, the point between the lip and the nose, the right nostril, outer edge of the right eye, inside of the eye, bridge of the nose, inside of the left eye, outer edge of the eye, the left nostril, the point between the lip and the nose, the point under the bottom lip, the chin, the right temple, top middle of the forehead, the left temple, and back to the chin. Moving the awareness now to the tip of the tongue, to the body of the tongue, to the roof of the mouth, tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth, tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth. From here, we move back to the brain, going around the brain once more, starting from the base of the skull, up to the middle of the brain, right hand side of the brain, to the left hand side of the brain, back to the right, now the left, right and left, coming to balance in the middle of the brain and the front of the brain, middle of the brain, front of the brain, middle of the brain, dropping down to the throat, right shoulder, down to the right elbow, down to the right wrist, palm of the hand, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, back up through the palm, the wrist, the elbow, shoulder, over to the throat, continuing to the left shoulder, down to the left elbow, down to the left wrist, palm, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, back up through the palm, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, back to the throat and down to the heart, resting in the heart center. Moving down to the navel, the pelvis, the right hip, down to the right knee, down to the ankle, the sole of the foot, the big toe, the second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. Coming back up through the sole of the foot, the ankle, the knee, the hip, over to the pelvis, the left hip, down to the left knee, left ankle, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. Coming back up through the left sole of the foot, ankle, knee, hip, and pelvis. Back to the navel, the heart center, throat, right shoulder, the whole of the right arm, throat, left shoulder, the whole of the left arm, heart center, and radiate outwards from the heart center to cover the whole of the rib area, the navel, and the whole of the torso, the pelvis, the right hip, the whole of the right leg down to the soles of the feet, the pelvis, the left hip, and the whole of the left leg down to the sole of the left foot. Coming back through the left hip, the pelvis, the navel, and resting deeply in the center of the chest, the heart center, resting the awareness in the heart center. We change our focus now towards the breath. Bring your internal awareness and gaze to the right fingertips. Breathe in and travel your awareness up the right arm to the third eye center, that space between the eyebrows. Breathe out and travel your internal gaze and awareness down the left arm to the left fingertips. Inhale up the left arm to the third eye center. Exhale down the right arm to the right fingertips. Repeat this process 5 times at your own pace of breath. Traveling up one arm to the third eye and down the opposite to the fingertips. Now take your awareness to the right eye, and as you inhale, move your awareness up to the third eye. As you exhale, down to the left eye. Inhale from the left eye, up to the third eye. Exhale, down to the right eye. And again, repeating 5 more times, as slowly as your breath and mind will allow. Now release your control of breath and concentrate on the space in front of your closed eyelids. In this space, begin to notice the screen of the mind that we call the Chiddikasha. This space extends as high and wide and distant as the eye can see. Concentrate on this mind screen and become aware of any colours, patterns, shapes, or light that you might see. Whatever it is that you see is manifested by your mind. Continue to be aware of this space. Try not to become involved. Practicing detached awareness only. Simply noticing whatever does or doesn't arise on that screen in front of your eyes. Now intensify your imagination and allow yourself to take a journey with me. Bring your mind to the eyebrow center. I will begin to name different objects. Try to visualize each object or image as you hear it, perhaps bringing to the mind images, sounds, smells, touch, or even tastes of these objects. If you cannot, then don't worry, simply listen. Some of the objects may be well known to you. Try not to think too much or force an image. Just let the objects appear naturally. Bring your awareness to the eyebrow center. Darkness. Red flower. Blue sky in the evening. Dark night. Shiny stars. A full moon. A beautiful sunrise. Red clouds drifting. High mountains with snow-capped peaks. A wooden hut in the mountains. A forest with dense pine trees. A frosted spider's web. A red-breasted robin. A deer. A snow-covered meadow. A frozen lake. Birds flying. Berries. A scarf. Heavy snowfall. A burning log fire. A lantern. A flickering candle. A quiet evening. A cup of tea. Darkness. Now become aware of the breath, the natural rhythm of breath. Inhale through the left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Left in, right out. Right in, left out. left in, right out, right in, left out. Practicing mental alternate nostril breathing. Release your awareness of breath now and bring your awareness back to the eyebrow center, back to the heart center, and remember your sankalpa, your heart's desire or intention, and repeat the same desire 3 times internally now with the same intention and attitude. Relax any efforts. Draw your mind to your surroundings and become aware of your breathing. Become aware of the natural breath. Awareness of the whole body. Your body is lying totally relaxed on the floor. You are breathing quietly and slowly. Develop awareness of your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Become aware of the ground below and the air above and around you. Gradually start to move and stretch the body. There's no hurry. Please take your time to reintroduce these gentle movements to wake the body once more. When you're sure that you're fully awake, keeping the eyes closed, gently draw the knees in towards the chest, rolling over into a seated position in your own time. Bringing the palms together at heart center. Bowing the forehead towards the fingertips. Take a final moment here to reflect on any intentions that you set throughout either segment of our class. Breathing in, send yourself love and gratitude. Breathing out, send love and gratitude to another being. Thank you so much for joining me.